Alo, salut, sunt eu, un haiduc și te rog, iubirea mea, primește fericirea.
Alo, alo, sunt eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei.
Te sun să-ți spun ce simt acum. Alo, iubirea mea, sunt eu, fericirea.
Alo, alo, sunt iarăși eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei.
Alo, salut, sunt eu, un haiduc și te rog, iubirea mea, primește fericirea.
Alo, alo, sunt eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei,
Te sun să-ți spun ce simt acum. Alo, iubirea mea, sunt eu, fericirea.
Alo, alo, sunt iarăși eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei.
Hey guys, just let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me, and we'll get started quite shortly. A little bit early, but everyone should be here by now, I'm sure. So this is the Use It, Lose It tournament. So no title is on the line here. It's all for fun. We're just, the way this works is quite simple. Each match, you pick a character, and for that round, you play that character, and after that, you're done. You can't use that character anymore. So, basically, this is designed such that everyone gets like 7 rounds, 7 or 6 rounds, depending on how this is set up. And, everybody's guaranteed to be outside of their comfort zone at some point. So, that's a lot of fun. We don't have quite enough for a single elimination or a double elimination, so that's why we switched to round robin. We're going to stick to regular round robin rules. So for anyone who's like attended my Thursday round robins or any of the other round robins I've hosted, it's basically the same deal, just the gimmick of use it, lose it. So hopefully that's clear. So yeah, each time you pick a character, you can't use a character again. And I'll keep track of it here. So like, if I were to pick Alex, for example, first time, I would not be able to use him again after that. Pretty simple. I'll get inside commentator chat as well, so that you guys can listen to me while you're playing your matches. Use it, lose it. Make sure I'm not deafened or anything. Of course, if like Koala or Tao wants to come in and commentate, that is perfectly fine too. But I think we'll get started now. And we'll start with Pekola against Stuntman, so that'll be interesting to see how they stack up against each other, because they're both kind of active with their playstyle. But also whether or not they pick one of their mains immediately, or if they pick someone they're okay with or not very good with to start off. Always interesting to see these sort of strategic choices in a tournament like this, right? And Pekola is on the left. Let me fix that. Hang on. As always, the name on the top is the one who goes left. And it's 1 round, 7 flags though, so it's a fairly long round at least, but not overly so. Alright, I sent you guys the Parsec link. Let me just check the audio here. Yes, you can hear me? Perfect. That's what OBS is telling me, so I trust that is the case. Nobody's in commentators. This is around the time we usually do the USFC, so I'm kind of surprised actually we're not having a huge turnout this time around, but a round robin will fix that for sure. It'll make it so that everybody gets a lot of fights. And yeah, be sure to check out Ironic's tournament tomorrow as well. You can hear me perfect, yeah. I figured. Ironic is hosting a tournament tomorrow, and we need at least 8 people for it to count as an elimination tourney. Anybody can join. It was originally supposed to be like for new players, but not a lot of new players showed up, so we're opening that up to everyone. And I'm gonna help out with hosting for that one, so you won't have to worry about playing on some unknown connection. You'll play on a stable one. Just be aware it's geared towards NA players, so the timing is later than usual. Yeah, so definitely check that out as well. Just need one more person. We can always just do a round robin too, so the event will go on no matter what. But yeah, I know Ironic would prefer it if we have at least 8 or something, so. We're just waiting on Peckle and Stuntman. I'm not sure where they are. We might move on, and if they don't show up, I'm going to be pretty lax about the whole showing up thing, by the way, of course, because this is a very casual tournament. I know Oaken's here. We might actually just move on and do our fight for now, because I know Oak's in the commentator chat. So I think we'll do that, actually. And I'm really curious who he will pick. And I'll get the left side. And we'll come back to Peckle and Stuntman's fight. Alright, Oak. You should just be able to join too. I don't think you need the link. Yeah, he's not here. I don't know where he is, but Oak is here, so we're good to go. Again, it's just a casual tournament, so if people don't show up, it's a bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, Oak's in. I'll give him keyboard. Remember, 1 round, 7 flags. That's how we always do the round robin, so I'll just make sure we got 7 flags. We don't, so I'll fix that quickly. Alright. Yeah, the question is who to pick. Okay, Oak goes straight for Laszlo. That is really interesting. So he's going with the big guns, so to speak. And, yeah, he picked that really quickly. I'll go with Marie. Yeah, your prediction was way off there, Maestro. But yeah, I don't blame you for thinking we were gonna pick like less viable picks, I guess, right off the bat. I don't blame you for thinking that. All right, wish Oak a good fight. Yes, we did skip, but we'll come back to you, Pekola, don't worry. Yeah, exactly. Stun has to show up too. Anyway, I'll try to stay quiet for the rest of this. I really gotta focus because Oak's using his main already. All right, good effort, Oak. I think I made that look much easier than it actually is because, man, like if Oak closes me down in that matchup, it's over. Laszlo is a zippy saber fighter, so I'm glad that went well. Good fight, Oak. Yeah, good game, man. Quite a gamble to use his main right off the bat, but sometimes you gotta take gambles like that too, so I don't blame him. I'm a tough opponent, so. Alright, I'm just gonna record here. I used Marie, so I cannot use Marie anymore, and Oak cannot use Laszlo anymore. And now we got Maestro against Toasted Bread. I don't know if Toasted is here or not. I know Pekola is here. I haven't heard from Stuntman yet. That's why I'm sort of moving on. But hopefully Stuntman shows up. We can always move on if Toasted's not here. I know Maestro's here, and I know Velociraptor's here. I think, yeah, Velociraptor doesn't get to fight the first round. He gets to fight the second round. The way it's set up is everybody gets a break in one of these rounds, so like round 5, I don't fight, that type of thing, just because it's an odd number. Yeah, so hopefully Maestro shows up, and Toasted especially, because I haven't heard anything from Toasted. See, the fascinating thing about fighting Laszlo too is I found I had to use some of my cuts to win. I couldn't just stab him like you might think you can, because Laszlo looks like he's really open, but when he long guards, that's not so much the case. And so I had to use the reach of my rapier to land a few cuts here and there. And it was difficult to kill Laszlo with the cuts, but I could at least draw blood with them. Yeah, exactly. That stab is actually one of his best tools against Marie. He's a very cut-centric character, but you have to watch out for that long guard stab, especially. Your HP is not very high if you're Marie, that is, so it may not take much. And yeah, we got Maestro in here now. Perfect. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for Toasted, but I'm not gonna wait too long. We're gonna stay in though, Maestro, because you do have a fight against Oak after this. So we might just get Oak in here so you get a fight. And that's also the way this is set up. Everybody gets to fight like 2 times in a row at some point. I get to do so at the end against Maestro and Toasted, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, so that's actually convenient how this worked, because Oak showed up and Maestro showed up. So, we'll get a fight between those two, whatever happens. I'll wait a little bit longer. And I'm up against Stuntman, so hopefully Stuntman shows up. I'll give Stuntman another ping before we move on to the second round, maybe. But I'll also give Oak a link, or actually Oak can just join us. How about you join us, Oak, and I'll just send Stuntman another ping. Yeah, thank you. Stuntman and Toast. I'll give actually I think just Stuntman. I already pinged Toast, and that's a little excessive. Alright, Oak's in. Let's just do that fight since he's here. Let me double check. Oak gets the left side. Okay. And if I ever forget to like record what characters people use or something, let me know. That's also a possibility. Gotta make sure nobody's, intentionally or otherwise using a character that they used already. Alright, so Oak used Laszlo. We know that. Maestro has his entire roster free. And Oak goes straight for Kalkstein, which puts Maestro in an interesting position. I'd say Kalkstein is his second main. So what Oak's doing here is he's using his best characters right off the bat because he knows he's fighting some really tough players. Me for one, and then Maestro for another. So we'll see how that goes for him. Maestro went with Barabash. He's more of a Yazak expert, but I like to think Barabash is actually a bit better. I just like that he hits harder, but I think Yazak has some advantages too. But nonetheless, the point is Barabash plays pretty similar, so Maestro is staying in familiar territory with the style of the character, but not using the preferred variation of the clone. Right, nice exchange here, guys. Maestro very much on the offensive here, and it's working, but he has to be a bit careful. Yeah, that's why. Calc has a reach, and he can kill with thrusts and cuts. Barbash is probably more of a cutting character. His stabs are not as powerful as they used to be. There's another thrust by Oak. Oak is in very good shape here. Maestro with one flag, but he is behind. Reaches with the long guard cut, forcing a double. That was a good attempt by Maestro, but he wasn't able to land a hit without being hit in turn. Upward cut. Out of range. Thrust by Maestro misses, and Oak does not capitalize on his hit. Probably afraid to let Maestro get too close, which is understandable, because a double could easily be forced. And I like what Oak's doing. He's keeping his engagements clean. That's probably how you should approach this. Because Calc is slower, but he's got the reach. And Maestro, for the 1-2 combo, he really likes throwing that. And it probably catches some people off guard. A lot of people don't expect a Saber to just swing rapidly like that. All the same, though, Oak is in a pretty comfortable position. He's applying some pressure. Upward slash into thrust. Maestro didn't seem ready for it. And a stab to the arm finishes it. Very graceful movement by Oak. Very precise attacks. Good fight, both of you guys. That was a joy to watch. I think Oak was controlling the pace of the fight better, though. And that's what decided it. So, let me just check if Stuntman has responded. He has not. So at this point, Stuntman is missing. And Toasted Bread is also missing. But we can get Velociraptor and Pecola in here. So I think we'll do that. At some point, we're gonna have to disqualify people who aren't showing up, but I'm not gonna do that right away. Peckle says he's coming. Perfect. Oh yeah, that was actually a bit ago. All right, there you are. Oh yes, let me record that too. Oak used Kalkstein. So yeah, I almost forgot already. Alright, Barabash for Maestro. Give you 3 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem, man. Gives us a chance to wait for our 2 no-shows as well, so I don't mind. This tourney's gonna be pretty quick as it is. I mean, we have 2 people out of 7 missing. So, it's potentially our quickest round robin yet. So, that's kind of the idea, I guess. You want a casual, quick event for a format like this. I think Zero did a format like this first. It was really cool. So that was partly the inspiration. And also, I remember in Rome 2, they used to, like Rome 2 Total War, they used to do a tournament called Use It, Lose It, where you'd pick a faction, and once you use that faction, you were done using that faction. So that was cool as well, just to see what people would pick. So that was a format they used to do in Total War. I don't know if they still do in the Warhammer games, because I'm not interested in them, but yeah, ping me if the link dies, by the way, or all good. Okay. All right, fantastic. They're both in. You're okay if keyboard splitter, right, Pekla? I remember we were sparring and you said you wanted to use keyboard. Just let me know. You hate it, but it's cool. Okay, so you'll just stick with it? You'll cope? Okay. All right, so Velociraptor on the left and Pekla on the right. Alrighty. So now is a question of who they'll pick. I'm actually not too. Oh, never mind. He didn't pick last. Well, I thought he did for a second. All right, they're kind of feeling each other out here, seeing who they want to pick. But yeah, Velociraptor doubles down and goes for Laszlo, and Pekla goes for an interesting choice there in Barabash. At some point, you have to use a character you don't like, and a strategy is certainly to use a character like that early on and save your main for later. So Velociraptor, from what I've seen, has practiced Laszlo a lot, actually, so this is by no means a bad pick. We'll see how it works out for him, though. And there's a kill for Pekla. Good snap cut. Maybe using a bit of his Zera knowledge there. He almost can do that. He can cancel and go for snap cuts and stuff. But Velociraptor forces a kill there. Yeah, Pekla is doing some canceling there. I really like what I'm seeing. He has to watch his stamina though, apparently. Oh man, he's already getting tired. Velociraptor went maybe going for a thrust there, but he got punched. And then Pekka hits his head. But there was a double, so that's good for Velociraptor. Pekka testing the waters a bit, keeping his distance. Long guard by Velociraptor, but it gets easily blocked by Pekka's long guard. Oh, ducks under, and then a cut to finish it off. Pekka is in good shape here. He seems to know the moves. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't practice a character a lot, but you just know the moves, and you know the mechanics of the game. And if you manage your distance well, that can, just keeping it simple and whatnot, can be enough to win a fight. Obviously, it is better to use your main, but Pekka is in really good shape now. He gets another kill, exploiting the fact that Velociraptor was relying maybe a bit too much on that long guard. Perhaps it's habit from Marie, or perhaps that's part of his game plan. All the same, he gets a really good cut there. I think that's what he wants to do. He needs to start using his cuts a bit more. Oh my goodness, interesting exchange, really close, but unfortunately Laszlo's a bit better at that kind of thing. So even if there's a bit of jank, Laszlo will tend to come out on top. I'd have to watch that back again. It was interesting how the blades were kind of colliding there. Velociraptor gaining momentum again. Perhaps he was feeling his opponent out at first. Oh, he goes for the thrust and it works. I don't think Pekka expected that because earlier the thrusts were not working very well. And Pekka tries to go for a downward cut, but those snap cuts are kind of weak compared to many of Laszlo's moves where he steps forward and cuts. So that's kind of the danger. You don't want to trade with Laszlo. All the same, Pekka not out of this yet. He gets another kill. Using some of the more powerful cuts now. That's what he wants to do. Probably uses reach. Hopefully that was not lag. Yeah, everyone's good. Okay. Probably just accidentally pressed that. And there's a thrust, exploiting the fact that Pekka was snap cutting, so he couldn't guard it. Well done by Velociraptor. He's definitely very good at using the point as well. He sort of had to feel his opponent out to land those, but now that he has done so, he landed them pretty effortlessly. But very good effort by Pekka using a character he's unfamiliar with against a good player who's using a character, he is familiar with, right? So Velociraptor used Laszlo. We might see a lot of Laszlo being used in this format. And then, of course, Pekka used Barabash. Yeah, he's got a powerful stab. You're not kidding. Velociraptor, you're actually still in this. I forgot to tell you that. So, I'll send you the link. I don't blame you for leaving. That's probably habit. But, you're still in, my friend. And to review, Velociraptor used Laszlo. I used Marie already, so he can't use Marie here. Alright, let me deal with the names real quick. Not sure who I'm going to use here, but we'll see. I get the left side. Awesome. Yeah, that was a good fight, guys. I'm not sure who I'm going to use here. I think I'll use Samuel, actually. Why not? He goes for Yanderick. I think Laszlo was possibly a better pick, but I didn't know who Velociraptor was going to pick, so I didn't want to, force myself into a Laszlo versus Marie fight, for instance. That might not end well. Whoa. I somehow dashed forward in the middle of the beginning phase. Sorry about that. I did not reach you, so it didn't matter, but that was funny. Samuel's recovery, everybody. Look at that. Like, even in the opening phase, he can move inhumanly fast. And so I get a kill. Of course, we all know Velociraptor is really good with Yendrick, so this will not be easy. That wasn't a very convincing double. That's unfortunate for Velociraptor. Alright, good effort, Velociraptor. Possibly a bad matchup, honestly. I haven't really thought of it, but the fact that Samuel recovers so quickly and doesn't have like as much room for error probably puts him in a very good spot in that matchup. Yeah, Yendrick's just so hit and miss, you know? Like, sometimes when I use him, I'm very good with him. Other times, I'm just completely hopeless. And it might be, to some extent, even the same with people who main him, you know? There's just so much that can go wrong, especially in a game like this. But nonetheless, good effort. And okay, so I use Samuel. If I can find my own name, that's funny. Yeah, Maestro is supposed to fight Stuntman, but I don't think Stuntman has shown up. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Like you probably don't practice it a whole lot. Like a lot of there's not a lot of people who play Samuel, right? So yeah, I don't blame you. And the thing is, Samuel's guard is just so good. I don't think it helps him as much in this matchup, but it might just be good enough to to save him in some instances. So Oak joined right away because obviously he's up against Toasted, but I don't think Toasted is here. So really sorry, Oak, but I'm gonna kick you out here. Not because I hate you, but because I think we should move on to Velociraptor against Maestro. So I'm really sorry, Velociraptor, but you actually have to fight again. You have to fight 3 times in a row because we have 2 no-shows. And you're gonna fight your brother too, so that's interesting. I might go ahead and just disqualify the no-shows at this point. I mean, we're at round 4, and it's like they're not here, so yeah, yeah. It's always interesting to see like what people try to do when they are using a character they're not familiar with, and they maybe start bringing in tactics from other characters into the mix. Like I sometimes do that with Laszlo, and some people have commented even Isabella sometimes. The way I move with her footwork is the same way I move with Alexander because I'm in the habit of moving that way now, moving in and out. So really interesting. Okay, so Maestro is in, perfect. And just to review, Maestro can use anybody besides Barabash, and at this point, Velociraptor has used Laszlo and Yendrik, so you can use anyone else, but not those two. Let me deal with the names real quick. Velociraptor gets the left side. Yeah, so this is basically a five-man round robin, but with the two no-shows, but it is what it is. Fortunately, Tao could not show up. I think he signed up, but he just wasn't able to make it for whatever reason, so it happens. Very good that I thought to do a round robin for this one as well. Might be the best format for this, too. Unless we can get a very long elimination, in which case that'd be fun. And for elimination, I think Maestro is asking, like, how would we do that? I would do it on a per match basis, not a per round basis, if that makes sense. So you can use one character for that entire match. And then once that match is concluded, you're done, basically. That's how I would do it, probably. I think that's how Zero did it, so. Just because if it's like 3 rounds per match, we could, I guess, do best of 2 and it'd be better. But if it was like best of 3, right, then that's a bunch of characters, right, if you're doing it every round, so you'd run out fast unless it's a really small elimination. Anyway, Maestro going with Yazek, he's taking this really seriously. I think Yazek's actually his best character, believe it or not, so. And Velociraptor going with Marie, but he's getting basically utterly destroyed right now. Oh, wait, sorry. Velociraptor's going with Yazek. Maestro's going with Marie. I confused them. I wonder how much they do get confused in real life. I know, like, my brother and I, like, when... Because we both have names that start with the letter J for starters. And we do look fairly different, but we look alike enough that people get us very confused. It's kind of funny. I wonder if this happens to these two as well. But anyway. Yeah, so Velociraptor went with Yazek, and it's going extremely well. Maestro thought Marie would be a good pick, but... And I'd say Maestro is very good with Marie, so that's not a bad pick, but... But one can argue that Yazek has the tools to counter her, so... And he has a bit more HP than people think he does. He's not known for being particularly good in many regards, but he's usually viewed as okay. Yazek, that is, so... A lot of people forget that he has a little bit more HP, and this was a pretty quick match for these two. Marie's so bunned, he's never using her. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I agree, man. Sometimes Marie just feels useless, but when you use her really well, she also feels overpowered almost, right? It's kind of interesting how that goes. Yeah, so to be clear, Velociraptor was the one using Yazek, and Maestro used Marie. Alright, Pekla now is gonna fight me, and I think actually I'll just, hang on. Let me go to the participants and just disqualify. Toasted and Stunman. Just so we don't have to think about it anymore. If they show up, I might let them back in, but let's just keep it simple and disqualify them so it's easier to skip their fights. Anyway, I had a good experience with Marie at least, so I'm happy with that. No, I just mean she feels overpowered. Like, not that she actually is. It's just that if you get a really good stab with Marie, she kills instantly. Like, I do that all the time with her. Like, even against the AI, it's like, if you want a character who can defeat AI really easily, Marie is up there, right? If you get a really good stab with Marie, she does the most damage in the game by far. So, but the thing is, if your stab isn't very good, at least by the game's perspective, uh, you know, the damage is terrible, right? She has decent cuts as well, but yeah, I'm not trying to argue she is actually overpowered. She isn't, but if you ask a lot of new players, they'll tell you they think she is because of how hard she has the potential to hit, and because, well, she is really annoying and she has that reach, right? So, yeah, it's about playstyle as well. That's a really good point. And the character you're playing as well. So anyway, Pekala used Barabash, and I used Marie and Samuel, so we can't use those characters, but everyone else is fair game. And Pekala, you get the left. Okay, who to use? I'm gonna use Yara. Okay, so Pekala might not like what I just did. I was just gonna go for Zera regardless of who he picked. But it's too late, man. You gotta fight this, so if you don't like it, that's too bad. I should have used the hooded skin, but oh well. Yeah, long guard's tough. Sorry to torment you with Zera, Pekala, but it is what it is. I really hate this from the perspective of Marie trying to fight this matchup. It's just insane. Okay, well, I messed it up there, but that's basically what it comes down to. You gotta hope I mess up. What is... Okay. Oh my goodness. I see what you guys who play Zera are talking about. And also Marie was having a moment too. Oh, I hit you with the tip of the sword there. Yeah, it's like kind of a mix with Zera. Sometimes you hit the very tip and it's an instant kill. But yeah, good effort. That's just such a tough matchup, man. Like, Marie just struggles to land anything on Zera, and even if you land something, there's no guarantee it actually kills or anything. So, Zera, for me, and Pekala used Marie. Alright, so we're already past round 4. We're not going to take a break because of how short this is going to be. I think it's something on your end, Pekla, because I'm not getting reports from anyone else of weird controls. Anyway, you're still in, Pekla. You get to fight Maestro now. I don't think anyone reported that earlier either. It was just you. You struggle with Zera against Marie. Okay. Maybe I gave you some ideas then. I can kind of see why. If you do a big attack with Zera, like we did see actually a few times, it's possible for Marie to stab you then. So it's like I just kept it kind of simple. I used long guard occasionally, thrusted occasionally, but when I started just rushing in and throwing cuts, it made it really easy. Even at the times where I messed up and I somehow didn't hit Marie's head, I was still able to recover in time. So yeah. And the thing is, Marie doesn't necessarily have much of a reach advantage in that one, which is something Marie kind of relies on, I think, given she uses a rapier. Okay, Maestro on the left, Pekla on the right. Just to review, Maestro used Barabash and Marie. Pekla used Barabash and Marie. So there you go. They both use the same characters. So I better not see one of those two show up. Okay, Maestro on the left, Pekla on the right. Oh, did Pekla leave? That's also possible. Give keyboard. Okay, man. That's not a problem. Yeah, you said that keyboard splitter is not working for you for some reason, so. Yeah, Marta, because Marta has a long rapier as well. And Isabella, because she definitely has some longer range moves with her longsword. Yeah, I agree. To some extent, Kalkstein as well, but less so, I would say. I'd say Marie generally outreaches him, but it depends on the move, too. Anyway, Pekla is using Marta, Maestro going with Isabella. That's probably the only character he's confident against Marta with, so even halfway so I don't blame him. Yeah, so going for his original main here to deal with Marta, and takes the hand off after getting run through. Crazy. Maestro's gonna vent all of his anger here in this fight. Because we all know he hates fighting Marta, but so far he's doing a good job. Maybe the B cut was a mistake. Maybe he should have done the Y cut there from the rush. Hard to say sometimes because Marta can kind of just poke you if you don't do it right. And that's clearly what Pekla wants. Pekla wants Maestro to come in and just poke him. And there's probably the machine gun stab there that Pekla did last second. Hit Maestro in the head somehow. I bet you Maestro was a little tilted at that. I'd be too, because that didn't look very convincing. That's what I meant earlier, how like every character who hits hard or has a hard hitting move can land an unconvincing double. I think Kubald has some like animations to work out. I think the physics engine is pretty solid, but the animations have to actually reflect what's going on. Or it could be the other way around too. The physics are flawed and so they're not reflecting the animations. I don't know which is the issue, but anyway. I think people were talking about desync, and that's exactly probably what it is. It's the fact that they're not synced to each other sometimes. So what you see happening is not actually what's happening. But anyway, let's focus on the fight here. Maestro just trying to bash through the guard. He's a bit too far, but he's managing to beat the blade at least. He has to actually make something happen beyond that, though. Rushes in too far, hitting the cup hilt. So there was no chance of hitting Marta there, and Pekla capitalizes. Maestro rushing in, but too far. He backs away because he knows he's in danger. High guard cut, going for the caveman strat. Yeah, that's true as well. Like with the Destrezza style, Marta likes just sort of holding that out, that rapier out. It's a really bad Destrezza style, but it looks vaguely like Destrezza, so, you know. Maestro with a big cut there. That's his advantage. It's that whenever he lands a hit, it's at least pretty reliable. Arguably, when Pekla lands a hit, that's not so much the case. Unless he uses a specific attack. Maestro a bit close. Just barely close enough, I should say, to land the high guard cut past the cup hilt. But again, he's failing to capitalize. And then there's that classic cut to the head that Marta likes doing. Yeah, exactly. Caveman chop. It's a very good move against Marta for sure. You got to use all of your guards in this fight and all of your tools. You can't just long guard. Kubal Destrezza style. Yeah. And there was a thrust to the face by Pekla. He's not out of this yet by any means. A bit static there by Pekla. If Pekla kept backing away, he might have been fine. I hope that wasn't something on his end going on. Maestro doing a good job of just keeping the pressure up and closing him down. Okay, so Maestro used Isabella now. Keeping Yazuk in reserve, which I think is a very good choice on his part. And then Pekala used Marta. So Pekala can no longer use rapiers. So a good tournament so far, guys. It's just really fast. That's the only complaint I have. About whose guard not being OP. Well, it's definitely not OP. She has a big cup hilt, though, so if you slam your blade into it, nothing's gonna happen, right? It's like Kalkstein's basket hilt. Or even some of the D guards, actually, they can protect the hand, so... But Marta's is kind of unique. It sort of encloses her hand like she's holding a buckler almost, so... That's what was going on there. Anyway, we got Velociraptor against Oak now. Man, I'm really sorry to hear that, Pekla, really, that you're hating the game as much as you are right now. Like, genuinely, I know some people joke about getting you tilted, but really, like, it's unfortunate in all seriousness. Like, because this is one of my favorite games, right? And I hate to see people not enjoying it. So, if you need to take a break from it, like, don't feel bad about it. Everyone needs to take a break from the game at some point. I'm surprised I'm sticking with it as long as I am. I guess it's just my love of history and sword fighting keeping me here. Usually with games, I eventually, like, stop playing it, come back to it later type thing. So. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't want to lose you, but, you know, if you have to take a break from the game, like, you know, do what you think's best, right? Okay, so Velociraptor's in. And I can agree about it bashing through Maestro, especially because it's a rapier and, you know, she's got two hands. But the cup hilt is still made of steel, so just consider that if you're not close enough, it's still not gonna connect, right? You're still slamming that blade into steel, so... Because the way Kubel modeled the swords, the metal on the handles actually protects you, so... Yeah, that's what was going on. So yeah, like she might be tired and you might be able to bash through and then follow it up. I could see that. But the initial hit's not gonna do anything if you hit the cup. And yeah, I agree. It might be burnout that's going on with Pekla. So I don't know where Oak is. I hope I pinged him. Yeah, I did. So maybe you tried connecting or you didn't hear first time. I don't know. Anyway, you're here now. Perfect. Okay, so Velociraptor, you get the left side. Yeah, exactly. It really does happen to everyone. Like, even I experienced a little bit of burnout, I think, as a host when one of my tourneys caused a bunch of controversy. So, you know, it could be for a variety of reasons, though. It doesn't have to be that. It can be anything. Just that you're playing it too much or it's been a while, you know. Could be your mental health at the time, many things. So, yeah, just don't be afraid to take a break, man. As unfortunate as it is to hear it, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So let's get back to the fight. Yeah, it happened to Warden as well. That's a very good point. The best player in Hellish Court, and he was into the game for so long, but yeah, it is sad though. But anyway, Oak, you have keyboard. Velociraptor's on the left. Oak's on the right. Yeah, Velociraptor did not pick Marie, and I know for a fact Oak did not pick Samuel ever, so we're good. It has been a good tourney though, guys. Like, kind of laid back and relaxed, but it's nice. It's especially because this is in place of USFC, so it's good that it has sort of the same vibe. And then there's the recovery from Samuel. He just didn't care about that thrust and snap cut the head. Yeah, that might be also true there, Venator. Like when you've achieved so much, it's easy to sort of lose motivation to keep improving, I guess, or like you're winning everything, yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he's got stuff going on in real life too, though, so that's also worth considering. So I think that also plays a role, but I think what you're saying is especially right. Punch by Oak. Velociraptor forced into a corner, but gets a stab. They're both tired now. Very intense fight. And we don't see that often from Marie mains. I know Fro Fencer liked doing those, the A thrust, but not a lot of Marine mains like doing it, the sidestep A, and it worked really well here. Sniping that opening in Samuel's defense. And there's another kill. It's the meta, he said. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a very different game from most fighting games, so it is what it is. It's a very unique one. Snap cut by Oak, another kill. I suppose I can kind of relate to that. The meta, like, really early in the game was kind of bad, so at least I thought it was bad. Now it's way better, so you know, it's that's a quick way to turn you off from a game for sure if you don't like it as much. I think in the early days I wasn't quite as active, so active enough though. I definitely enjoyed those times without a doubt. Joined whatever tourney I could and all the rest of it. And as I'm speaking here, Velociraptor got another kill. So actually, it's a really even fight now. Thrust by Oak, using some of that Laszlo skill. It's a very similar move, actually, just a bit slower to what Laszlo does. Thrust attempt. It didn't land, though. I'm actually kind of surprised. And then Velociraptor immediately capitalized on the mistake. To be fair, I think that was the outer edge of the range, but I figured it would have still drawn some blood, at least. Okay, snap cut, snap cut. Oak gets it. When Samuel starts snap cutting you like that, it's a very bad time. No matter what character. I see. Yeah, so you don't feel as though the stuff you're trying is working, or at least it feels like that. Yeah, I see. By the way, Oak got the point there. It's very messy, but he got it through determination. And amazingly, we're almost done. I don't fight round 7. It's just Oak against Pekla for round 7. But for round 6, I'm fighting Maestro. Very classic matchup. So Oak used Samuel. Velociraptor used Marie. It's kind of unfortunate these two are not here because we would see more people in their, like, out of their comfort zone if they were. But alright, it is what it is. Let's get Maestro in here. Oak is our nemesis now, Velo Velociraptor said. Sorry, Maestro says. My goodness, I'm confusing them now. Yeah, so at this point I'm in the lead, but that can change fast for sure. Um, get Maestro in. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think attacking does work. Like, I keep saying that, but we've seen time and time again that there's definitely ways to do it. So that's just my take. Some people struggle with it more than others, I guess, but Maestro is in, and I get the left side. Alright, and just to review, Maestro Kate cannot use Barbash, Marie, or Isabella. And of course, I cannot use Marie, Samuel, or Zara. Yeah, I know, right? Like, because we had 7 people, and then, like, those 2 are not here, so yeah, I agree. It's very unfortunate. I hope somebody, like, one of them shows up. Okay, Stuntman showed up as I say that. He pinged me. I'll just ask him if he can participate. Okay, awesome. I'll do my fight with Maestro, and if you're okay with that, we'll just do a bunch of your fights. It'll have to be like in a row because it's round robin, but alright, that's fine. Awesome, man. It's all good. This is just a casual event. It's not anything serious really, so you know. 11 out of 21 fights. Yeah, that's insane to think about, man. I never would have thought it would have been that much. But okay, Maestro going with Zara. I'm going with my main. Think about it though, Stuntman can win this too. So be funny if Koala did the other time, but yeah, Stuntman can still. Nobody is 100% gonna win this necessarily. Good punish. Nicely done, Maestro. Proving himself wrong there with the offensive play at the end. Very well done. And I agree completely with what Venator's saying, by the way. Good game. Okay, yeah, let's get Stuntman in here. Let's have a look at the standings just out of curiosity. At this point, I'm in the lead. Oak can get second place, I think. Yeah. Let me look at where Pekala is. Yeah, Pekala not in the best spot, but Stuntman can take it. You know, like, you never know with this guy. You know, he was on my team, and he did quite well in some instances, so. Alright. I'm gonna kick you out, Maestro, not because I hate you again, but because, we gotta get Stuntman in here for his marathon. Yeah, well said, Velociraptor. It's really not cut and dry at all. It's a very complex thing. And you can't separate defense and offense. I think they're both related. So, second to last fight of the tourney, I know, right? Yeah, he's here pretty late, but oh well. You know what? This was a ridiculously short tourney, so I don't mind letting him in. At least by our server standards, ridiculously short. So here's the link. But you know what? That's also kind of good. You know, we all get a bit of time to relax on the weekend. So let me make sure I record who we used, by the way. Yeah, so I used Alexander. Maestro used Zera. So Maestro cannot use Longsword anymore. Alright, Stuntman, you're in now. If you can hear me. There you are. Okay, perfect. And I'll give Pekala a keyboard since that's what he prefers now. I gotta like reopen the match. Okay. Got this figured out now, how to let people back in and whatnot. So, Stuntman, you get the right side, not the left side. Pekala's on the left. Alright, and Pekala, of course, you've used a bunch of characters. You used Barabash, Marie, and Marta. Still got some pretty solid characters left, though. Alright, let's go. Pekala left, Stuntman right. There we are. And you guys can select. Obviously, remember, once you've used a character, you can't use that character again, so choose wisely. Alright, Zera, that's a pretty solid pick by Stuntman. He doesn't play Zera much, to my knowledge, but he plays Longsword a lot, so going for a powerful character that's not too much out of his comfort zone, right? So pretty strategic pick. And then Impeccable, obviously very experienced with Calc. He has some characters he's experienced with left, so he might just use those. Yeah, there's a thrust by Pekala getting a kill out of the gate. I believe, yeah, Stuntman also mains Laszlo, so that's probably the other strong pick he's going to keep in reserve. And that's a double. Pekala making good use of those thrusts. Good parry with the cut, actually. Rushes in. No hit, but then snipes the hand. Nicely done by Stuntman. Applying a lot of pressure and then making Pekala think he could riposte, but it wasn't quite the case. Then upward slash to the arm. Another kill. I think Zera is a pretty good counter to Kalkstein. Not that Kalkstein stands no chance, but it's just a tough fight. Yeah, I agree. Like, Zera just seems like he can hit those openings, and... Oh, you think it's fun, too, yeah. I could see that for sure. I don't play this one very often, of course, so I don't really know. But I've always enjoyed watching it, I can say that. Those upward cuts seem to just hit Kalkstein, no matter what, if he's moving forward. So Stuntman has something figured out here. Good poke. Hecla doesn't get a kill, though. Ooh, if that cut landed, it might have forced a double. Very unfortunate for Pekala here. Pekala can't lose another flag here, otherwise it's over. Tries to get a dominant position in that thrust, but unfortunately it missed. I think that was a good idea. It just didn't work. So Stuntman, you got to stay in, of course. Good win. You got to fight everyone else now. Up to the last round. Yeah, watch out, guys. Stuntman is on the way, and actually we get to fight me now. Let's reopen your match. In fact, I'll reopen all of them so I don't have to do that every time. Yeah, so we'll reopen this one. That one's gonna stay close. That's Toasted. You don't have to fight Toasted, because Toasted never showed up. Just checking I'm not blind. Okay, we got this one too. Alright. Let's go. You get the left side, actually. Okay. And to make sure I record, Pekala used Kalkstein. And Stuntman used Zera. Okay. And to review, I used Marie, Samuel, Zera, and my main, Alexander. So those are off limits. I can use Isabella, though. Might use Isabella. Yeah, it's okay, Pekla. Like, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, hang on. Stuntman's still here? Yes, he is. Cool. Give you 30 seconds. Oh, no problem, man. You just woke up. Oh, no problem, man. Yeah, we'll wait for you. It's fine. Very short tourney, so I don't mind waiting. Same here, man. I really like our fights, Pekla, seriously, like, so if we ever get the chance, I hope so. Yeah, we already picked a bunch, so like he's in a good spot. And I'm telling him each time like what people have picked already beforehand, but it's just important to remind people. One hour, 8 minutes, really? Even shorter than I was thinking. I was thinking it was an hour 30. Yeah, an hour, 8 minutes if we consider the actual action. Yeah, you're right. If we ignore the Romanian music I played at the beginning. Some call it the anthem of the internet. And YouTube's actually okay with it because, I mean, obviously they take money from you if you monetize it, but nothing's monetized, so I don't even have to worry about that. So you can play that music anytime you want. Okay, perfect. Just can't claim it's your own. That's obviously the only thing. If you do that, they'll come after you. Yeah, so I'm curious who Stuntman's gonna pick. You're on the left, my friend. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Bella. Isabella, who... My old stream music? Which one? The trumpet thing? Like, I think it was Little Mac or something, like from Smash Bros. I still got it in my playlist. I can play it at any time. There's also the Hellish Quart thing, I think, and yeah, there's some others. And this one is gonna be a good fight. Learn Mongolian throat singing. Oh, that might be the one you were talking about too. I also played that once or twice. That is something I want to learn, actually, man. I don't really see myself doing it, but like, if I could ever learn to do it, man, that'd be amazing. It's honestly one of my dream locations to visit, you know, Mongolia. Hang out with some nomads or some shit, like that'd be so cool. The Smash music, yeah, I still got it. Yeah. That one's really good too, actually, fight music. At least video game fight music. I wouldn't play it at UFC or anything, but drink more milk. Yeah, some fermented milk, man. That'd be. It sounds kind of disgusting, but apparently it's good. Get a pet golden eagle, yeah. Oh, okay. He actually won with the snap cut. Interesting. I thought that'd be like a double or something. Sometimes that cut is really hard. So yeah, Stuntman is a really tough opponent. I gotta be on my game. Wow. Down from history. Alright, I gotta focus. Percent of the world's population. Best fatigue fight. Yeah, that was amazing. Um, as for the 8% figure, I think that's been exaggerated. People don't think it was that high, but yeah, it was high. There's no doubt about it. They formed a huge empire after all. They think the Mongols themselves might have exaggerated it too. It's not just the enemies of the Mongols who sort of tried to make them out to be more evil than they actually were. It's also the Mongols themselves as a terror tactic, right? So modern archaeology has really helped with that. We've seen just exactly what the death toll is. Same with census records. But yeah. Oh, Jesus. I'm surprised that landed, but I'll take it. ladies love Jinx. Oh man. I thought that was gonna kill me for a moment. Good fight, stuntman. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, good fight. Yeah, so Maestro Cake, you're up now. You have to fight Stuntman. No break, of course. We're just gonna power through because I know some people thought the tourney was gonna be over, so we're just gonna get it over with. I think with that win, I've basically secured the win of the tourney, though. But we'll see. That's not what it's about, though, honestly. Like, there's nothing on the line, so it's just always nice to win. Oh, yeah, hang on. I should make sure I record that, Stuntman used Isabella, right? And I used Isabella, too. Just. Alright. I don't think I've forgotten to record any of those things, but if anyone notices that, like, let me know. And to review, so Stuntman cannot use Longsword. Maestro cannot use Longsword either, and he cannot use Barbash or Marie. And Maestro gets the left side. Horseback and bareback. Well, that's the other thing, right? Like, I could try out horse archery out there. That'd be cool. Or hunting or something. I guess the only sad thing is their culture is kind of. It's still alive, don't get me wrong, but it's been oppressed by the Chinese for so long and the Soviets, so. Maestro didn't use Yazuk, I don't think, so we're good. Yeah, he didn't. I know that for a fact. Alright. Yeah, Badabash is who he used. Similar character. But yeah, Maestro kept Yazuk in reserve, which was an interesting move. I don't disagree with it, though. Stuntman's oh my goodness, he's getting in his face. They've traded. I think trades of these two characters are roughly equal. Unfortunately, Stuntman's swing did not land, so. Big cut by Stuntman, takes the hand off. I think Maestro was trying to throw a cut too. That was beautiful. Just really poor timing. Damn, cut the thigh as Stuntman was running in. Probably popped the femoral artery. Upward slash, then Maestro really likes doing that. He follows it up with a snap cut, and it can be a bit annoying to deal with, to be honest, but that's with any snap cut. That's not unique to Yazuk by any means. Samuel has it too. We'll see if Stuntman tries that. Stuntman rushing in. It's an even fight. Good lunge by Maestro, getting past Samuel's guard. I think that's how you gotta do it. You have to find a way to get your blade past his. I know his guard is a bit ridiculous at times, but there's definitely specific thrusts or specific cuts where it's like it moves so far that he can't quite move his blade in the way of them, especially if he's moving forward. Yeah, so Maestro's doing a very good job of targeting that lower left opening. That seems to be one of the key spots to aim for. Upward slash. Yep, that's it. He knows where to aim now. And Yazik has a pretty powerful upward slash, so. By the way, how's the smoke in New York? We're actually getting some smoke over here now, as insane as that sounds. And I think it's from a mixture of like Alberta, and it might also be from. I don't think it's from the east actually, but I know there's some stuff going on in BC too now. It's insane. A lot of fires. But it's not as bad as it was before. Before it was like apocalyptic last month. Like we were one of the most polluted cities in the world, and I know New York was uh, for a bit. It's insane. Like the smoke turns the sky yellow because the sun reflects off it just right. Crazy exchange. Maestro got it. In Connecticut, it's basically gone. Good to hear, yeah. But apparently, it's pretty bad in Quebec. That's one of the more populated provinces too. So. Thrust by Maestro gets punched. That's Samuel's recovery for you. Cut to the leg. Very well done by Maestro. And Samuel's auto guard wasn't good enough for that. Probably because Stuntman was moving more than anything. Those leg cuts can be very tricky for a lot of characters. You gotta, yeah, leg void. He did it there. That's exactly the counter. He landed some cuts and Yaza cut his nose off, but there's no kill. And there's a kill for Stuntman. It was just foggy for us for 3 days. Yeah, for us it was for longer, I think. Yeah, it was like a week. But that's because we're closer to what's going on, right? Like I know one of the fires, it wasn't even that far from Edmonton, so. And we had a grass fire in the city limits too, actually, that had to be put out. It wasn't anything that damaged homes, but it came close. It's like you're on Venus, though, when the smoke gets really bad, it just turns the sky completely yellow. Or like what Peklo was saying, it's like you're in Hollywood's version of Mexico, where they have the filter. Anyway, Stuntman did a really good job of trying to come back. He was fighting on even terms for much of that fight, but Maestro was just a bit ahead. So, good fight, guys. So Maestro at this point has used Yazik, but I don't think, yeah, he doesn't have a fight after this, so that's perfectly fine. Might as well use the best character you can when you're pretty much done, right? So Yazik and Stuntman use Samuel. The sun was reddish, yeah. It's amazing what that does to the sun too. Like it flat out turns red or pink as well. I forget the exact science behind it, but it's obviously something to do with the light reflections and stuff like that. Just the particles in the air and the whatnot. Alright, Oak, you're up next. Stuntman, this is your last fight in the chain of fights. You do get a fight in round 7 though, so just be ready for that one. But I'll kick you out after this one. Alright, Oak gets keyboard. Oak gets the left side. And Stuntman, yeah, you're still on the right. Alright. Alright, so to review here, I know I keep doing this, but Oak used Laszlo, Kalkstein, and Samuel. Stuntman has used Zara, Isabella, and Samuel. Alright, let's go. Okay, it'd be interesting to see who they pick. So Oak going for Zara, the hooded Zara, and it looks like Stuntman is thinking of going for Kalkstein. I don't think Calc has another skin, unfortunately. No, he doesn't. So, freaking Canada poisoning our air. Yeah. Crazy, what's going on up here, though. Like, even on the East Coast in, like, Nova Scotia, where it's all moist, they still got a bunch of fires over there. It's like, it seems like every province got it, maybe except for, like, the northern ones. The territories, I should say. Imagine what California is going to be like, man. Like, you think Canada's bad. California's drier than we are by far. There's going to be some shit going down over there. Like, at least it rains here, you know? It barely even rains in much of California. Anyway, kill there by Stuntman, but Oak has a good early lead. Again, I definitely favor Zera in this matchup. It's not that Calc stands no chance, but it's Calc has to play probably more precisely than Zera does. The thing I always think about, though, when speaking of the fires, when there's all these fires going on, is how much the wildlife must be suffering, you know? Like, we have the comfort of just, you know, staying inside when there's smoke, but they have to just deal with it. And it's really the smoke that does the killing, right? If you think about it. The fire is pretty easy to avoid, but what usually kills people is smoke whenever there's a fire. And that also probably goes for animals as well. It disorients you, it ruins your respiratory health. It causes all sorts of problems. And if you're really close to the fire, the smoke can physically burn you, right? You don't actually have to be in the fire to start dying from that. And there's suffocation and stuff when you're that close. And there's stories of many of the fires, if you're really close to them, it starts like raining ash and shit. And if a fire is big enough, it can actually alter the weather and it becomes a firestorm. So it's nuts. Start getting pyro tornadoes. I'm not even exaggerating, and lightning, and it's crazy. Anyway, way off topic. I apologize. Oak needs one more. And Oak won it. Nicely done. I think that secures second place for Oak, doesn't it? Unless he has another fight he has to do first. Okay, he's got another one, but yeah, Pekla forfeited though, so I believe. So Oak's in a really good spot in that regard. Good fight though, guys. So you can leave now, Stuntman, for now. Just be ready. And yeah, I'll just give Oak the win. And we're almost done. This is the last fight already. Stuntman. Okay, no, actually, I should let Stuntman back in. I apologize. Oh, man. And let me just record the characters that were used. Stuntman used Calc. He still got Laszlo left, and then obviously Oak used Zera. You were not ready for this. Yeah, fair enough, man. It's so tough to do fights back to back. That's why I always hesitate to like make people go through that. It's true for anybody. It just sort of drains your stamina, especially if you start losing. If you lose even one fight, that can, really affect you for sure. And you just have to play so well because you're fighting so many good people. Like, nobody here is a pushover at all. So, it's a tough ask for sure. So let's see, Velociraptor can actually get second place here, I believe. Unless these standings are not wrong. Hang on, sometimes they're not. Yeah, actually, I don't think so. Maybe. Anyway, let's just get started with the fight here. So Stuntman used Longsword, he used Samuel, he used Kalkstein. Velociraptor has not used Longsword yet. He's used the Axe, he has it in Laszlo and Marie. Alright. And Stuntman, left side. Oh, Velociraptor disconnected. Hopefully that wasn't a coyote biting your cables or something. I don't know what you guys have in Connecticut, but probably much the same as what we have, right? Not so much moose, though, I don't think, unless you're out in the wild. Anyway, Stuntman left, Velociraptor on the right. Alright, let's see who they pick. I'm thinking Stuntman is just gonna go for Laszlo, like go for a really safe pick. Because this is his final fight for sure, so. But, you know, he might feel like using someone else. Alexander for Velociraptor. So we end this with a saber fight. We have tigers. Ignorant. Yeah. We got all sorts of stuff here, though. Like, even in rural Alberta, you'll find wolves and stuff. Like, they obviously stay away from humans, and unless humans feed them, of course. But they're out there, and there's black bears, there's grizzlies over by the mountains, and moose, and yeah, there's actually moose even in the rural areas too. Actually, there's a lot of animals out here. In the suburbs here, though, we mostly deal with coyotes as far as dangerous animals. Because, you know, they don't care. They'll certainly run away if you confront them, but they're pretty used to being out here and hunting down rabbits and squirrels and stuff, so. Anyway, let's try and focus on this final fight here. They both have a point. Cuts. Oh, snap cut last moment by a stuntman. Probably saved himself from dying. And then there's the thrust and cut combo. It's kind of sluggish to throw, but it was the right call. It's sluggish unless you know, like, the moves you gotta do to cancel it or when to use it, stuff like that. There you go, you just did it there. That was well done. So Velociraptor's definitely messed around a little bit with the move. Doing a lot of thrusting, trying to snipe that arm, I assume. Maestro cheering on Velociraptor, and good exchange. Stuntman going for a stab, but I think he was too close is what happened there. It looked like the point was connecting with Alexander, but when you're that close, it can be hard to apply a lot of pressure to the thrust, if that makes sense. Because you're just so close and it's awkward. But Stuntman does get a kill in the pocket. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the format, Oak. More people would be best, yeah, and maybe elimination would be nice to try as well, but only if we have more people. Yeah. Whether it's double elimination or, you know, single. And there's a trade, resulting in a double. Yeah, Marie's definitely a really good character as far as learning distance management. And you can definitely see how Velociraptor translates that into other characters. I think it makes a lot of sense that he's good at Yendrick, as much as it may seem odd that he uses a choppy axe character and a rapier character. I mean, if you think about it, some of the concepts still transfer over. It's just the attack is different, right? Same with Yandrik. With Marie, you only have so much of your weapon that's effective. The tip is usually what you want to hit with in Marie's case, so. And that was a good kill by Stuntman. He's very good at Vlaslo. I think Velociraptor has at least a little bit of experience with Alexander. Hopefully that wasn't lag. Yeah, they're both fine. Accidentally pressed it probably in a panic. Upward slash by Stuntman, winning the trade. And Stuntman has made a really good comeback. He's in a good spot. Oh, he's using some of the new moves now. Interesting idea there, trying to apply pressure, but Stuntman is playing it safe. There's a double. Yeah, they're both very distance-centric characters. I mean, everybody is to some extent, right? But I think those two especially. And Stuntman hits the head. I don't know if Velociraptor wanted to do the head bob, but I think that was the wrong time. So good punish by Stuntman. He might have done it on purpose too. That could have been really cool if he pulled it off. It's just so hard to do, even for most Alexander mains, I would say, that close in. So that was the tournament, guys. We're done already. And I managed to win despite losing. That's only because I defeated Oak. If Oak had defeated me, it would obviously look quite different. Because Maestro beat me, so I'd be in actually third place if that happened. So, nonetheless, there was a really good tourney. And yeah, Stuntman is really becoming a lot better. Out of all the novice players, I think. Well, I don't want to really call him a novice anymore. He's played long enough that he's quite seasoned. But he is definitely a newer player. And out of all of those players, like Stuntman has been advancing at a really good rate. Possibly better than most of them, I think. Wrath is the only one who gives him a bit of a run for his money in that regard. I'd really like to see them both fight and see like who comes out on top. Not downplaying him, yeah. I know. Yeah, you're giving him praise. I got that, don't worry. So thank you for coming out, Stuntman. I really appreciate it. Definitely a tough thing to just sort of fight a bunch of people after sleeping for such a long time, you know, like you're just all groggy and you have to fight a bunch of fights over and over. Like considering that, you did really well. Like let's have a look at the standings here, just out of curiosity. I mean, you're above Velociraptor at 3 wins to 3 losses. That's not bad at all. You know, you beat 3 of us, right? And so you should definitely be really happy with that. So that's the tourney, guys. Thank you for coming out. Very casual tourney, of course, and relaxed. I might play Town of Salem later today if anyone's interested in that. It's a really cool party game. It's only $10. If you're familiar with like the card game Werewolf, or if you're familiar with, you know, Among Us and games like that, you'll definitely really like it. There's a lot of cool roles and definitely a fun game for you know just hanging out in voice chat and having a good time. So I'll definitely be playing some of that if anyone's interested. And I think I'll end it here. Check out Ironic's tournament tomorrow as well. We need at least one more person for to do elimination, because otherwise it doesn't count. I think I'm hosting that one, so you won't have to worry about an unknown, unstable connection, I don't think. And I'll see you guys next time.